Why has an austere German sports coupe designed for new conservatism financial consultants become the darling of stance culture?
Yeah, Stance Nation!
Bottom out over a Pop-Tart.
Yeah, bro, my car's so low I can't use it.
I scrape my splitter on 2nd Street. It makes all the ladies want my uncut meat.
Right. For those who don't know, stancing is like low riding, except not really. Low riders use air shocks to drop the car down to the pavement, but stancing is lowering the car just a little bit and then fitting large wheels and thin tires to make the wheel completely fill the wheel well. The idea, as I see it, is to make the car look more like it did in the concept drawings. You know, the concept drawings, when the promise was high that a vehicle could overcome the monolithic and illustrious past of its brand and become something that was more than the sum of its parts. But stancing places more importance on how the car looks when parked rather than how it drives or handles. Stancing is for drivers trapped in an abusive relationship of their own lives. It's for people who spent their youth pointing out typographical errors in comic books in the hopes of winning a Marvel No Prize. Here's something interesting. The E36 was one of the first cars BMW designed mainly with computer assistance. And it's got an engine that says everything is broken all the time. Nothing's working. You did it wrong. No. Which is fitting because stancing a car is a lot like rebooting your PC to an earlier restore point before it was clogged up with registry errors. It's a method of cosmic regeneration for people who feel like the universe is punishing them for liking things. The M3 features a higher level of performance over the standard 3 Series model, an engine and more. But the thing is, people are going to get upset about this M3 because,
this is a North American M3. It's not a real M3. The engine's wrong. The engine's wrong. The engine's wrong. The engine's wrong.
The E36 M3 debuted in February of 1992 and was puffing out its chests in dealers' showrooms by that November. The BMW spokespersons were trumpeting the state-of-the-art specifications of the E36 like a megachurch preacher rambling to a congregation of J-bros and high school football coaches with turtling erections. It was a car representative of the new self-congratulatory era in which kids receive participation trophies for just showing up. And a kid could lead with his head and still count on being treated to Gumby's Pizza after the game. The E36 was the first M3 powered by a straight-six engine, 182 cubic inch if you want, S50, which produces 282 horsepower. The chassis led to this being named one of Car and Driver's best handling cars of the 90s, which is kind of like being declared the mayor of Whoville. You can be heralded as the leader, but no one will really believe you are, nor are they necessarily going to treat you like one. You're just a fashionable, fun little distraction. Like funnel cake seasons, or Mondays at TGI Fridays with your American Lit professor. You know, that 60-something rabble-rouser whose favorite cocktail is a tequila mockingbird. Don't get me wrong, driving this is as smooth and searing and as sensuous as
frying with an N64 controller.
But it's a completely ephemeral experience. It vanishes like breath on a window. And you can try as hard as you want to write your name in that fading breath by stancing your car, but you're not actually imprinting any real sense of personhood on that vehicle. The E36 was available either with a 5-speed manual or an automatic, although I'm not really sure what would be gained in going with the automatic when so much of the E36 appeal is the one-on-one experience between car and driver. You might as well just pay somebody else to bang your wife and eat all the chocolate out of the Neapolitan ice cream while you're at it. Floating rotors came standard on the Canadian and European variants, but were strangely absent from their American counterparts. In addition, the differential and rear axles on the North American imports were lighter-duty bills than their bulkier European cousins, so make of that what you will. And all late-model M3s received subframe reinforcements. But stancing undoes all of that. It's simply a license. Stancing is simply a license to whine about your car not taking corners like it used to. And you better have a lot of disposable income because stancing is horrible on tires. And you're going to have to buy new tires way more frequently than you're used to, or even comfortable doing, because PennDOT-induced rim damage is likely to plug up your glory hole before you even get the shaft through the opening. So if your car gets driven with any kind of regularity, stancing is as bad an idea as trusting your barista like you trust your bartender. I mean, the guy who owns this car lamented to me that if I put 2 people in the back, my rear wheels are going to be rubbing inside the wheel well. I have to roll my fenders out to be able to do this correctly. And the steering rack is all weird because it's broken in some way. I mean, an E36 isn't supposed to require this much steering input just to turn it this far. Something's wrong here. And speaking of things going wrong, one thing about E36s is that the fog lights are going to fall out. No, they just fall out. So the guy who has this said, screw it. And he just put some old, like, dryer hose in here going up inside. It's like, okay, they're intakes now. Learning so much about this M3 taught me that there's a real hierarchy to German cars. I mean, that's one of the weird things that you get when you grow up in Pennsylvania. You're just stuck with domestics all the time. You don't know there's a whole